How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to CardboardSim. And this is part 3 of the force feedback yoke story, I guess you can say. This time around, there's been a lot of additions to the setup. For starters, I have added end switches for the position of the yoke. So the sketch that I'm using for Arduino is from a guy. I can't pronounce his name. It's like, I just call him G Money. That's how, because I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry, but I'll leave a description or a link in the description below so you can check him out. I'm pretty much trying to mimic his script, his design to a degree, to make all this work. So he pretty much wrote his own sketch, or his own coding, and he was able to link it to Xpforce to talk to the sim. So yesterday, when I was tinkering with it, I was able to get it to a point where I did get a little bit of force feedback, and it did move. And then as I started adding other things got crazy. So that's why all the mess is here. There's wires everywhere. Don't worry, all this will be cleaned up before we really get things moving. But the purpose of the end switches and how he has it set up is the system has to understand its center point and its distance on each end. So when, see if I can do this, hopefully. Let me see, I'll go this way with it. So when I go, you hear the click. So that's the end switch saying that I'm pitched full forward. And the same thing is gonna go here. So when I push this all the way, it's gonna hit this L bracket here. That's gonna be my full stop forward. And then I just put a screw right here. So when I turn left, it hits that one, and go right, it hits that one. So that's the addition for back here. Everything is pretty much wired up. Now, the Leonardo board, I got that first because when I downloaded, because he has different versions of his setup, because his setup has been evolving over some time. So I'm running off of potentiometers. So I went with version 1. But then there's a couple versions of the beginning with potentiometers. There's a couple, I guess I can say there's a few versions of potentiometers. So I went with the first one. I saw Leonardo board. I bought the Leonardo board. So when I started having some issues trying to figure out why things aren't talking, I was able to contact him, and we had a few conversations. He was asking me a few questions, and he was like, well, do you have a collaboration? Do you have your calibration button? Because I wasn't, for some odd reason, the system wasn't picking up the signal from the potentiometer. So I wasn't getting no pitch or roll whatsoever until he told me I needed a calibration button. So I went and I pulled up his schematics for that button. Got everything wired up, still having issues. So he sent me a whole new package. And he just said, download this one and just throw it in the Arduino. So it's kind of, in a sense, kind of a plug-and-play system. So I downloaded, got everything loaded up, and to my amazement, things kind of started working a little bit. But then when I pulled up the schematics on this one, it showed a micro board versus a Leonardo. And he also added an LCD screen, which here I'm about to show you right now. So, I mean, this is pretty much it for back here. All that was really added back here was just the end switches and then, you know, getting everything wired up. So that's pretty much self-explanatory. And all these wires right here, you about to see what's going on. So let's go around here. You guys excuse the mess, because I've been in here working. So here is the new addition to the sim. So you have all these here. It look crazy. So let me explain. So this is the LCD screen, and these three right here it controls the force for the pitch. So you got your left PWM, your right PWM, and you actually got your force. So this changes the parameters of that. And then these three does the same thing, but for the roll. This is my contrast button to, you know, change the contrast out on that. So I got that working pretty good. And here is my calibration button. Originally, I was gonna run all this back behind the panel, but what I didn't want to do is having to hit the button, come into the sim, do the check, go back. You know, it was just too much, and I wasn't utilizing this space over here for anything else. So I decided to just put it here. So it's right here, it's accessible. If I want to change the force, I can change it right at the top, or, you know, right here while I'm sitting. As far as the calibration, this is what goes back to the end switches I was just showing you. So what happens is when I'm first starting up, so before I even turn the sim on, what I'm gonna have to do is calibrate it. So I press that button, and information will be displayed up here. And it'll tell me, you know, press to calibrate. So I press that, and then what I have to do is actually push all in. So push full forward, full back, full left, full right, and then put it somewhat back center. It's not gonna have to be perfect, but the system is gonna then detect the distance between all of that. And then from there, I start up Xpforce. Well, you'll pretty much start up Microsoft Flight Sim through Xpforce, because Xpforce is going to be connected through that. So when you turn on Xpforce, it's going to load Xpforce and Flight Sim 2020. From that point, and FSU IPC kick on, Sim Connect, all that stuff starts kicking in, the force feedback system will automatically connect. And then from there, if you need to adjust anything, you can adjust from, you know, from here. You know, too much force on the roll, you know, you can dial it in however you want to, you know. So that's the goal with that. So that's pretty much been the update for the sim. I've also done something different since I've been on a little bit of downtime. Well, not really too much downtime, but because I had to wait, though. I had to order all of this stuff and those end switches once I found out that that's what's going on. And also I have the micro on order that should be in tomorrow, and I'm going to completely rewire the system again so that it actually matches the diagram that he sent me in the package, and hopefully everything should pretty much fall into place. But what I have done extra is I've changed my windows. As you can see, let's see if I can zoom out. Can I zoom out a little bit? It's gonna let me zoom out. Oh, nope. Okay, that's fine. All right, so if you see here, I have, because see, it used to be a square. And it was getting on my nerves because I had a square window, but then the TV was showing, you know, the actual aircraft frame or the pillar coming through. So it was just looking, it was tacky and it was irritating me. So I figured I'd take the opportunity, go ahead and change it. So now when it pops up, you don't see that. All you see is outside view pretty much, and the same on this side. And it's cool because the way I did it, I left it kind of open so you can still see all the way there as well. And of course, my handy dandy, this is black Gorilla tape versus your typical duct tape. So yeah, call me cheap in certain areas, but you know, I'm fine with it. It works for now. Maybe eventually down the road I will change it, you know, into something a little bit more I don't know, durable, I guess you can say. But for now, my focus is the electronics, and that's what we're working at. So that's pretty much the update for the sim. I will be back hopefully tomorrow or within the next. I would just give me a couple more days. Once I get the micro in tomorrow and get everything wired up, and hopefully we can actually get a test in and see how this thing goes. Working in mobiflight, just little things, working on stuff. So, but yeah, guys, like I said, I'll leave all the information down in the description below, and you guys can check out his channel and his information on GitHub if this is a project that you're thinking about diving into. It's not a hard project, but it's not an easy project. It's definitely not beginner level. You got it, intermediate, a high intermediate level of thinking. I mean, if you can read a schematic and you know, you got some soldering skills, really that's all you need, honestly. And of course, at least have an understanding of coding in Arduino. And if not, the guy, he has a Discord. You reach out to him, he will contact you, he will talk to you, he will help you out, you know, if you get stuck in areas. And there's other people in the Discord that will help out as well if need be. So yeah, like I said, it's challenging, it's fun, and I know at the end of the day, when it's all working like it should, it's just going to give that much more immersion to the sim. So this is my update for the force feedback yoke setup. It's CardboardSim signing out.